Disaster can strike quickly and without warning. You need to be prepared. Are you? The Informed Elder Care podcast is for the caregiver of an elder, providing information and solutions to the caregiver with everyday topics related to the elder's needs while offering hope. I'm Mark Crevo, your host of the Informed Elder Care podcast. When caring for an elder, you can always expect the unexpected. And sometimes, under no fault of your own, that comes in the form of a disaster. Our show today focuses on how you can be prepared in the event of a disaster and how to respond in the event it happens. Our guests today are Tom Ogden. He's a planner with ElderSource, the Aging Resource Center in Northeast Florida, and Anne-Marie West, who's a Preparedness and Planning Manager of Disaster Services with the American Red Cross. They both explain the three areas critical in preparing and responding to a disaster. Here's our interview. Tom, can you tell me if I want to be prepared, or just in case a disaster strikes, what would happen if I were to call ElderSource for help?
ElderSource, as the Area Agency on Aging and Aging Resource Center for Northeast Florida, would serve as your single point of contact. We would be able to provide you information needed to help you be informed, to help you be prepared in the event of an emergency or a disaster. We would also be able to provide you resource assistance. We would be able to send you to alternate facilities, alternate information sites to be able to receive the information that you need. And we have all of those resources within an electronic database. So a call that comes into ElderSource can be directly referred to an outside organization if needed for proper assistance.
Okay, so basically you're like a point of contact, not just even before, during, or maybe even after disaster strikes. Is that correct?
Absolutely. They can call us and be assured that within one call they will be directed to the resource that meets their needs the best. Okay, I'd like to
kind of just turn to you now, to Anne-Marie West with the American Red Cross. Explain to me about, we know about the obvious type of disasters. We see it every day on the news: tornadoes, hurricanes, storms. But can you identify maybe some other disasters that we just don't think about on a day-to-day basis that could affect all of us?
Well, to continue with some of the natural disasters, we're talking about floods, house fires, wildfires. You're also talking about the non-natural disasters that could include a railway accident, an aviation accident, a plant explosion. There are many different things in our day-to-day lives that we don't realize that we need to think about, at least in a way to be able to get ourselves safe.
I guess I'm expecting the inevitable here. It's going to happen. What do I do when a disaster strikes?
Well, and that's the key thing to remember, is it is when a disaster strikes. In the area where we reside in Northeast Florida, we are prone to a number of natural and man-made disasters, and we have to be prepared at all times for those.
Okay, so what do I do before a disaster strikes then? If it's going to happen, what do I do before it strikes?
Well, what you'd want to do before a disaster strikes is very simple. Is you just want to get informed. What is it that I will face if a hurricane comes? Is my home in a flood area? Am I near a railway area? Am I near anything that could pose a threat? So just get informed. What is it going to mean if a tornado comes, and how do I get myself prepared for that? You do those kind of what-if scenarios. And then after you get informed, then you're going to make a plan, and you're going to build a kit. It's 3 very simple steps.
Okay. Tom, you're a planner here at ElderSource. Make a plan. Help me out here. What kind of plan? If it's about the what-ifs?
Well, caregivers need to not only develop a personal plan for themselves, but they need to assist in developing a plan for the person they care for. And the plans need to be independent of one another, because we don't know when disaster is going to strike. And if it strikes at a moment where you are unavailable to assist the person you care for, that person needs to be able to implement their plan or have a resource available to assist them in implementing their plan. So preparation, even in terms of making a plan, is very, very important. And practice your plan.
Okay. Anne-Marie, you spoke about there's 3 things: getting informed, making a plan. What's the third one?
That's building a disaster kit. You can have a basic disaster supply kit, but everyone has unique needs, and so you'd have to think about what is it that's unique for me as a caregiver, what is unique about the elder that I'm caring for. We're talking things about medicine, assistance devices, food. Also, don't forget about the pets, because you as a caregiver may have a pet, your elder may have a pet. Your pet may also be special needs, so you have to think about the medications for the pet. There's a lot of things when you build your kit that you can get a basic supply kit from any store, or you can build your own with the checklists that are easily found. But then you just want to enhance that for your particular needs.
And that's a very important point when we're talking about elders and caregivers of elders and the pets. The pets are, in many cases, for the caree, their sole contact. It's their support mechanism. And a lot of carees refuse to evacuate if they are not able to take care of their pet or evacuate with their pet. And we've seen in many cases in people coming into the disaster recovery centers of people who did not evacuate and sustained major damage within their home or within their community. And their reason for evacuating was, I was not sure what to do with my animal. So knowing the pet-friendly shelters, knowing the requirements of those, and having that included in your plan is very important for caregivers.
And that's something you want to incorporate in the getting informed stage. What is it that I have that I need to find? And then also identify where are those resources. If I'm going to need to evacuate for a disaster, what are my resources? Where is the actual location? How am I going to get there? Can I get there one way during the day, but at night, am I going to know how to get there? Also, what's an alternate way to get to that location? During Tropical Storm Faye that we had recently, not every shelter was open. Emergency management only selected a handful to meet the needs of that storm. So you can't always rely on just having one location in your plan, and that's for storms. If it's something that you need to evacuate and you're not looking at a shelter, where else are you going to go? To a family's home, to a hotel? Do they take the pets? Do they have the accommodations that I need?
Well, you identified one of the disasters, for instance, and I get that we don't always have preparation of days ahead of time if there was a railway disaster. What could happen what could I do, for instance, if I was running an errand and I was caring for an elder and I was across town running an errand and all of a sudden something happened, like there was an air traffic fatality or a railway accident too, and I couldn't get to my elder? Is there any kind of backup plan that I could have there?
That's an instance where the special needs registry is very important in terms of a caregiver and their caree.
Can you explain more about special needs registry?
Yes. The special needs registry is developed within each county within the state of Florida, and each county emergency management office operates a special needs registry. The special needs registry allows for the individual to be contacted should an emergency arise. It does not mean that you will necessarily utilize these services of county emergency management. They may not come and take you and assist you in evacuation. But if needed, that resource is there.
Okay.
If you do not register with the county special needs, then you have no access to those resources.
So it's a really true good backup plan.
It's imperative.
Great. Thank you very much. I want to thank you, Anne-Marie, for being on the Informed Elder Care podcast today.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom, with Elder Source, for being on the show today as well.
Thank you for having me.
If you'd like to leave a comment or suggestion, you can email us at informedeldercare@comcast.net. Or you can leave a comment on our blog at informedeldercare.com, and we'll try to include it in the show. Thanks for listening, and God bless.